Hi, writers. Today we are moving on to session 7 in our informational writing unit, and we are going to be talking about editing for run on sentences. But before we do that, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about something first. So, every morning before I come to school, I don't just roll out of my house in pajamas with breakfast stuck in my teeth and run straight here. I make sure that I wash my teeth, brush them, floss them, shower, comb out my hair, and get dressed. Then I check to see what I look like in the mirror. The whole point of that is to make sure that I look presentable because all these people are going to see me throughout the day. No matter how kind or smart I am on the inside, if I look all sloppy on the outside, people are going to judge me for it. It doesn't sound fair, but unfortunately, it's true. So, this is also equally true of your writing. You may have the most spectacular ideas and the most breathtaking information. But if your writing has no breaks or no paragraphs, if your words are sloppily spelled or spelled wrong, if you don't add quotation marks around a quote, your reader's going to judge you. In fact, they might take one look at a page and decide that it's too difficult to read on because you didn't take time to edit it. So just as it is important to package and present yourself to the world in your best light, it is also important to present your writer to your readers in the best light. So that brings us to our teaching point today. And today I want to teach you that writers reread their work looking for parts that are hard to read, like 2 or 3 sentences that are squished together, pretending to be one sentence. When they find that, which is what writers call a run-on sentence, they add punctuation to divide that run-on sentence into smaller sentences that readers can understand. Let me show you what I mean. So I have some sentences here that I have collected from past students, and our sub has already passed these out to you. So I'll make sure that you have a second to get these situated on your desk so you're ready to go. Make sure you have the right paper in front of you. And in a second, you're going to be looking at each of these sentences with your partner and figure out if something in these sentences isn't quite right. Maybe something needs fixed. So let's look at this first sentence here. The sentence says, Mario is old but still popular. It was made by Nintendo more than 30 years ago. This looks like a perfectly punctuated sentence. It starts with a capital letter. The sentence ends with a period. But hang on. Talk with your partner for a second and see if you notice a problem. Go ahead and unpause our video and talk with your partner for a second. Did some of you say that it looks like one sentence, but actually there are 2 sentences squished together trying to make one? What would you do with a sentence like this? If you said you would put a period between popular and it, you are exactly right. That way it would read, Mario is old but still popular, period. It was made by Nintendo more than 30 years ago. Give me a thumbs up if you think this sounds better. I do too. Okay, so that one was pretty easy to spot, but let's look at this next one. Don't be fooled by that capital letter at the beginning and the period at the end. Read inside the sentence. Here we go. Dogs are called man's best friend for a reason. Human friends sometimes fight. A dog will never fight with you. A dog will never get mad at you. Go ahead and pause my video and turn and talk to your partner about what you're noticing about these sentences. Go. If you said that there are more than 2 sentences squished inside here, 3, 4, let's talk about where the period should go. If you said dogs are called man's best friend for a reason, period, you're right. That's one sentence. If you also said human friends sometimes fight and put a sentence, you're right. That's another sentence. If you put a period after a dog will never fight with you and put a period, you're right. That's another sentence. And if you put a period after a dog will never get mad at you, you're right. That's another sentence. So at first glance, it looked like this was just one big sentence, but it was really hard to understand and read accurately when I read it the first time. But when I went back and edited my run-on sentences, it makes much more sense now and is a lot easier for me to read and my readers. So sentences that go on and on like this are called run-on sentences. Do you see why? Often a sign you have a run-on sentence is that you use words such as and or so or then, almost like Scotch tape to hold all the parts together. So go ahead and look at this last sentence. Dribble the ball away from the other player and look at the net and straighten your knees and jump slightly forward and push the ball upward and shoot. If you look at this paper that's in front of you where it says do not get caught using Scotch tape words, see if you and your partner can find the Scotch tape word in the sentence and talk about how you would fix this sentence. Go ahead and pause our video and go. All right, writers, if you said that there are too many ands in one sentence, you are exactly right. So we're going to take some Scotch tape ands out and we're going to break that sentence up. So you learned earlier this year that it's important to avoid being rude as a writer. So just as it is rude to show up somewhere unbrushed and in pajamas, it's also rude to give your reader writing that is full of sentences that run on and on and on. So make sure they're being considerate and make sure that your reader's eyes don't have to work so hard to figure out where to stop. So you should also have this paper in front of you. And at first glance, it looks like these three sentences are perfectly punctuated until you read closely. So see if you can problem solve these with your partner, turn and talk, read them aloud, and stop at points where punctuation should be added. See if there's a Scotch tape word you need to remove. All right? So you want to make sure that you find the Scotch tape word and cross it out with your partner in each sentence. Read the sentence aloud. Where would you pause? That's where you're going to put a period. And then ask yourself, do those look like too many thoughts to put down in one sentence? How can we break it up? Go ahead and pause my video and do this work with your partner. All right, writers, you just did some great work. But in a second, I'm going to ask you to go back and look again at your own writing using a stranger's eyes. You're certainly going to want to check for run-on sentences. So that's where you're going to look for places where your sentences go on and on, or where you use words like and so, and then a bunch of times. But remember, you'll also be checking your pages, every page of every book, for not just run-on sentences, but for everything else on your editing checklist as well. Here's our new and improved editing checklist that you should also have on your desk amongst all those other papers. So remember that checklist that we used in the narrative unit? I've brought that back, but now I call this the new and improved editing checklist because it has no more run-ons in it. So today, as you're working, here's your work plan. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to work on finishing your third informational booklet. So you're going to finish your pages inside your booklet where you are teaching your reader about your topic. Then you're going to work on adding a beginning and an ending. When you feel like you finished your third informational booklet, I want you to get all three booklets out, ask our sub for some Post-it notes, and go back and use your new and improved editing checklist with Post-its to revise and edit each booklet. So not just your third booklet. I want you to use this checklist to go back and revise and edit your first informational booklet, your second informational booklet, and your third informational booklet with checklists. So that might take a little bit, but you want to make sure that you're looking at your writing like a stranger would look at it. All right, writers, good luck.